Shaun, I woke up at 6 a.m. Los Angeles time. For my body, 3 a.m. because I just got home from Hawaii.
Okay.
What's that nodding?
I don't know. I mean,
Oh God,
how
it's
how's that
traveling.
feel?
I'm not used to it. I don't go anywhere. I don't know anything about. My body knows nothing about time zones and adjustments.
Oh, right.
Two passports. I mean, two stamps on my passport. Remember, we talked about this.
Right. Yeah, you didn't get one for Hawaii though. No stamp.
Yeah, that's not
Did
even
you ask for
man.
one? Hey, can you guys stamp this?
I've never been somewhere where the clock goes backwards. That's very strange. I'm always going to, like, say, New York or something where you're going forward, but to be in reverse is very confusing.
Well, when you come back from New York.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I forgot there's a return. I forgot there's a return. Okay.
Unless you just take the long way around.
Yeah. You didn't have to say that. You could have just said, "Okay, yeah," and then, inside been like, "Oh, John's half awake."
Well, I felt like saying it.
Oh. You just had therapy. This is what's coming out.
What
You
is
you
what's
you
coming
you
out?
you speaking your truth.
I'm speaking my truth.
You
Yeah, I
not
think
hiding.
I'm not hiding. No, I just got out of therapy. Yeah, I like to speak my truth.
Yeah.
I try to do it kindly, but you and I have a relationship where there's a lot of ribbing, a lot of jokes.
Yeah. There's a lot of dry jokes, and, I think we both know when we're joking.
Sometimes, if they're good.
No, also, um, you're direct, but it doesn't come off in a way that's offensive.
Some people say that I'm blunt and
Yeah, I
oh,
can
sorry,
see that.
brutally honest, and I don't think that's true. I think people are just not used to hearing honesty that
Yeah, you're not
isn't sugar.
brutally honest, you're just honest, you're saying.
I'm just honest, but it feels brutal to a lot of people who are experienced in having, you know, folks speak directly to them in.
Well, I think I know what it is. It's not that it's brutally honest. Maybe you say things that, some people feel like, "Well, you didn't have to say that." You didn't have to announce that, you know? Like this example, I mean, this doesn't bother me at all, we're just fucking around, but, um, why did you have to announce that there is a plane ride back?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it could make the other person feel dumb,
Yeah.
you know? It didn't at all. Now it sounds like I'm lying, but just using it as example since it's so fresh, that's probably what they mean is like, did you have to say that, you know,
Yeah, I probably say things that I didn't have to say.
right, right.
I've been told that or maybe I tell myself this, I'm the person that says the things that other people wish they said.
That they had the balls to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great example, Sean. I think, at least for me, knowing that I mean, all the times that you're like, "Hey, listen, I know we had this commitment, but I'm gonna go snowboarding, right? Or I'm
Yeah.
gonna go, sit in a jacuzzi naked with some crazy religious person and get into a fight." Um, y I might have been annoyed, but at the end of the day, I respected it because you were just being honest, you know?
Yeah, and taking care of myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, here's what came up in therapy. Um, I am very good at taking care of myself and maybe not so good at letting others take care of me.
Mm.
And the fear or the experience that I've had in the past is that when I am not well, i.e., needing someone to take care of me, I impact them in a way that now I have to take care of them.
Give an example.
As in that they're not able to support me without getting affected by my moods. And now I
Oh.
have to take care of them because they're no longer feeling okay.
Right, because now you're worried about their feelings kinda thing.
Yeah. Because I don't really show people, for the most part, when I'm not well. I
Yeah.
give, an Instagram. I am vulnerable and I do share vulnerably. But for the most part, I show up when I'm well, and I show people the good sides of me. And when I'm not well, I hide. I like weather the storm alone.
Yeah, you're usually kind of, like, off the radar, you're quiet,
Yeah.
and, you isolate, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, and then when you feel better, you come back
Yeah.
and pretend like nothing happened. There's no
Yeah.
need to tell people that you got depressed, right?
Well, I do tell people, but I'm feeling okay about it. So I'm no longer in sort of
Right.
like a lowered state of like armor, right? I've got when I'm feeling better, I feel more resourced and I feel more armored. The issue is showing people who are close to me when I'm not well.
What would that look like for you to show people close to you that, "Hey, I'm not doing well today?" Is
I
that a
mean, I
text or is that a phone call?
no, it's usually like for example, last week I think I went to the gym and my friend Alex was there and I wasn't well and he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I sat down and I said, "Not well." And I started crying, tears,
Mm, mhm.
mild tears
Yeah, yeah.
after the workout, sitting down in the gym.
Wow. I mean, I love that because most people don't show, that kind of vulnerability, but for Alex, he must have been what was his response? Was he
Oh, he went, "Oh,
surprised or
oh, bud, I'm sorry." And then he got
Mm,
closer to me and then we just chatted for a bit.
yeah.
But that's Alex, that's a friend. I think it's more difficult with romantic partners.
Oh, that's interesting. It's more
Yeah.
difficult with people closer to you.
Yeah.
See, for me, it would be the opposite. Um, so the closer they are to you, the more, you hide or not show people you're, um, you know, depressed, if you're
Y
depressed or down.
Well, because I don't trust that they'll stick around or, there's a fear that I'm gonna have to take care of them, um, or maybe, being judged. I remember I told a girlfriend once that I in a moment of vulnerability, I said, "I don't know if I have what it takes to be in a long-term relationship,"
Mm,
or and that I have some doubts about this relationship. And she said, "I would really prefer if you didn't bring that to me. Like,
really? But
sort
that
that out."
directly impacts the relationship.
I know. She said, "Sort that out with your therapist friends and your coaches and all that."
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that,
Well,
but
so that was like more data, more evidence that
yeah,
like when I'm vulnerable,
they don't wanna hold that space or they don't
they
wanna
can't
come
they
with you.
can't hold it. Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. That makes me sad. It makes me sad that, in, romantic relationships, that's your knee jerk because of previous experiences, you know? Um, to me, that just flips magnets. To me, that makes people do life around each other. I mean, our intimate partners should know, we should be the most, we should know the first when our partners are not feeling well, uh, or down or not in a good state, you know?
Well, I was probably not attuned to growing up when I was not feeling well. And it was easier and safer to hide that than it was to ask the people that were close to me
Yeah,
to support me.
yeah, I think many
And
can
I
relate
actually,
to
when you're a
this.
kid, you don't have to ask. It should sort of just
Yeah, of course.
it
Well,
should
because
just
you don't
be.
know how to ask as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Um, this is when we go and find, you know, ways to numb feelings in other ways that are unhealthy, right?
Drugs and alcohol, baby.
Yeah, but also like cutting, you know, eating disorders, other things that, make us feel something.
Yeah. Get tattoos, 4 tattoos
Get
in
it.
6 months.
Oh, this is why you are tatted now. Is that directly correlated? Like, if you, suddenly come home with sleeves, is that I should ask you if you're doing okay?
Well, I have heard that if your friend suddenly who doesn't have tattoos gets a whole bunch of tattoos, or someone who does, and then all of a sudden they have a whole bunch more, ask them, "Hey, how's it going at home?" You know?
Mm. Or if they
I
go out
need
and buy a Corvette, ask them, "Are you going through some kind of midlife crisis?" Unless it's a vintage Corvette, unless it's like, 60 Stingray, that's got a
That's
brand new
different,
Corvette.
that's different. It's funny, my dad had a midlife crisis, and he was like, "I think I'm gonna buy a Corvette." And I was like, "Dude, you can do
Cliche.
better. You could do
Yeah,
better.
you can do better.
You could do better."
Oh,
And he came home with an SL65 AMG, and I was like, "Now we're talking."
oh, now we're talking. Now it's a midlife, midlife growth,
Well,
midlife,
it was a
side of crisis.
used. I was like, "Look, why would you buy, a brand new Corvette when for the same price you can get a used SL65?"
Yeah.
And I remember we were driving in the Mission in his AMG convertible, and we pulled up next to a bus. The bus driver looks out, big black dude. He goes, "Damn, you guys riding clean."
Nice. Your dad
We
got a fist
peaked.
bump.
We
Yeah,
peaked. We
yeah.
peaked.
The Corvette and the Mustang as classics, some of my favorite cars, like the Mach, the Steve McQueen Mustang, but as brand new cars, some of my least favorite cars.
Oh, yeah. You got to
Yeah.
roll up the windows yourself. There's no Bluetooth.
Mhm.
Terrible gas mileage.
Anyway, I gotta say this topic is it's very relatable, man. And let me ask you, what did your therapist say to you, as far as did she give you a prescription or is she just kind of holding space? Knowing these patterns, and it's not just you. So many people go inward, isolate when they're getting depressed. So it's a really important topic.
Yeah. There were some prescriptions, and then some like reflections on, hey, there is someone that you're actually showing up for on a regular basis and letting into your internal world.
Hmm.
And she goes, "Me?
Oh, I thought she was gonna say John Kim, but no,
No,
no.
no, not the angry therapist." She goes, "Me." And sometimes when you're, so maybe there's a little, me inside of you and there's a little you inside of me. And that's how we do life.
Mm.
We lean on and remember the corrective experiences that we're having with some people.
Man, so that in itself is really vulnerable for her to say. But it seems like you guys talk a lot about the power of your guys' relationships, you know?
Well, I think she talks about it a lot. She tries to
Yeah.
remind me
Yeah.
the importance of our relationship.
Man, that's great. Yeah, I agree with her. I believe it. I've always said that the relationship you have with your therapist is something a lot of people don't talk about, but that in itself can be, a corrective experience.
Yeah. She used the word corrective experience in French.
Tell her that's mine. Tell her she can't use
I
that.
I will. Well, she's in French, so I feel
Oh,
like
okay, in French. She
it's
can't say in
okay.
English, just only in French.
She, also said that we sort of came up with, uh, this concept that, like, I have to choose the right person. Like, I think I have to choose the right person, because that will be who I do relationship with, and it was more about actually, I got sad. I don't know I don't know how to describe this, but I got sad because I kinda felt like I wasn't worthy of love,
Mm,
like, from a baseline, right? And that was a, tender moment between us, and she said, "That makes a lot of sense, and also that's very relatable." A lot of people don't
sure.
feel worthy of love, didn't have
Yeah.
the experience of unconditional love growing up.
Knowing what you know now, like what we're talking about, what would be the things that you look for in a partner? Not a weekend fling, not a good time, but like someone you want to consider, uh, to do life with, a long term relationship. What would be like the five things? Like, for example, someone who's able to hold space for you and not say, don't bring that to me when you're feeling down. What are like the five things? But also like, sexual chemistry and compatibility and, what would be your top 5 as far as these are some non-negotiables that I need for it to be a long-term relationship?
Yeah, that would be a big one. The ability to hold space and to see
Yeah.
me in all sides of me and stick around and actively like want to know those parts of me.
What else? That's 1.
Um
3 more.
Playfulness, playfulness.
Oh, playfulness.
Yeah.
I like that.
I wanna be silly.
Yes.
I wanna
Space
make
to be silly.
dumb faces and funny videos and just, like, make each other laugh.
Yeah, you like laughing, which is great.
Yeah,
You're always laughing. That's great.
it's a natural it's like a natural drug.
It makes no, it makes you fun. It makes you a fun friend. You're always, cracking jokes and finding, humor in things, and who doesn't wanna be around someone like that, right? What else? The sexual
Uh,
exploration stuff or not so much? That's not
nah,
that
not so
important.
much. Like,
Once a week?
I'm actually fairly vanilla.
Well,
Most
because I
people
didn't I would not assume that after all these conversations we've been having from, about whether we're talking about cock rings or whatever, all the experiences that you've had, I would think that that would be, like, number 1, but I
yeah,
guess not.
no.
No.
No, definitely not. I'm vanilla to I'm not vanilla to people who are really vanilla, you know? But it's also I'm down to explore stuff, but it's not I like missionary, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Speaking of cock rings, John,
Um, Shaun sent me a thing of cock rings, and, there's a photo on it, so it's not like, they don't look like just hair ties. There's a photo of, 2 or 3 penises, and then the way that you put them on, instructions on this little plastic box. I was gonna use them, but I put it aside on my nightstand. I forgot to put it away. We had the house cleaner come. Our house cleaner is someone we know very well throughout the years. We use the same person, and, she organized my nightstand, which means she saw it. Not only did she see it, she probably was like, and, she probably said, "Okay, look, he's in his 50s, no judgment." But, yeah, I got really embarrassed. I'd rather her find a bottle of pills than all these, rubber band, contraptions that strangles your penis.
did, um did she say anything?
No, what would she say? "Hey, John, what's this?"
No, just nice cock rings. I don't know.
No, she held it up and said, "Predictable, John." No, she didn't
Yeah.
say anything. She didn't say anything.
Did you use
But I
them?
got really embarrassed, man.
Have you used them?
Yes, I tried. So,
Okay.
then, because of that, it was now on my mind. It's like, "Oh, I gotta use those." And, I put one on, uh, because it goes on, like, the whole thing. It goes, over the balls, it goes
Behind
over
the
the whole
balls,
unit. Yeah, yeah.
over the shaft, yeah.
And, never tried one before, and I felt like, so one thing that I can't stand is a tie. I'm not a shirt and tie guy. I feel like I can't breathe. I do this, I pull on it all day. I felt like my, penis was wearing a tie. It
Mhm.
felt like I mean, I guess that's what it was doing, is getting choked.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I think maybe if I get used to it, I could see it working, but, I'd start it was on my mind, so I couldn't it just bothered me, it was like, "I need to get this thing off," kinda thing, so it was not a good experience. On the picture, it also shows that you could put a smaller one around the head of your penis.
Never tried
No?
that.
I was like, who would do that? That's crazy."
Well, I think it might add a ridge. Could be fun for the receiver's pleasure.
Man, if you gotta put, like, 3 or 4 rubber bands around your penis, I don't know, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of,
It's not a lot
contraptions.
of work, man. It takes, like, 3 seconds to put on. So what was the
Yeah.
experience of having it on your cock other than feeling like you were getting choked with a tie? Like,
I'm sold.
physically
I'm not sold on the cock ring, I am sold on the quarter pill. I'm sold
okay,
on taking a
again
quarter of a pill.
okay,
That's it.
again, how did it feel other than like, did it feel more engorged? Was it a little bit bigger? Did you
Yeah, I think it so
actually
it
did you
held it,
penetrate your wife with it?
a little bit, and I took it off. It held, what it does is it holds the blood in, so it keeps it a
Engorged.
little bit, yeah, um but not to me, it wasn't as exaggerated as, say, taking a quarter of a pill, meaning, um, I think goes in and out. I didn't have it on long enough, to really fully, I think I had it on for, like, 30 seconds, and then I had to get it off with
Oh,
experience.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's like me licking the quarter pill and going, "Yeah, it's not for me." It just didn't really do it, you know?
I tried,
Also
man, I got yeah, I got in
alright,
my head about it. I didn't like it. It's like
that's
a
okay.
pebble in
I
your
mean
shoe.
yeah, okay. It could also not been tight enough, there are different sizes, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
kinda gotta get the right not too tight, not too tight.
not too tight.
No.
You need to not cut off your circulation.
Yeah. Alright, well, let me know
I
if you wanna
tried it.
try it. Let
I
me know
tried
if
hey,
you're
listen, I tried something I would never try,
yeah.
you know? And, I could also see, though, if you got used to it, how it can be, effective, how it could, kind of naturally, um,
Well,
keep it full.
here's what I have to say. Putting it on for 30 seconds is not adequate for this test, especially if you want me to take a quarter pill, which I can't take out. That's a commitment. So I want you to commit a little bit more next time. If you want me to take the quarter pill, I feel it's only fair. You know what I mean?
Alright.
Like give it a good old college try, man. You can do it. It's not a job. You're not on an interview. You don't have to have a tie. It's not a tie. It's not
Well,
corporate. Nothing
when you
corporate about it. I know you're
Sean,
allergic to corporate.
when you, when you have a kid and, sex becomes scheduled, it's a very valuable time. It's not a lot it's not a there's not a lot of time to experiment. The college we're not in college anymore, so the college try, I don't know.
Okay. Well, thanks for trying it. And also, I have a bit of feedback real quick about our guest. We need to do a better job of introducing them.
Oh,
So,
well, I have one today, so we better fucking start because
well,
she's
no,
gonna hop in.
that's why I'm telling you. Well, you could introduce them when they show up,
Oh,
but
I see, I see.
but we collectively, you and I, have to
Yeah.
like give them a warm intro. Why are they here? Why do they matter? Just a short thing, but because I usually introduce my guests. I go, "Hey, John, great to see you. Can you please introduce yourself?" That's how I introduce all my guests. And so I think people are asking us to do a little bit better
Okay, that's
collectively.
easy.
Yeah,
That's easy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also, if you guys don't know, we are having guests every other episode. And not only are we having guests, but we're rotating and we're stealing from Smartless, where the other person doesn't know who the guest is going to be.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, did you get an invitation to Spotify Studios next Friday
I
or
did
or
not.
or sometime? Okay, I got one for us. I don't know if they had sent it to you also, but they're doing a little party at Spotify
Oh,
Studios. So if you want to go, I'm going to go, but I'll send you the invite.
I went to that party. I don't know if they do it annual. I did it. We went. I think 2 years ago.
Did you
Spotify
get any
party.
swag?
And it was okay. What was cool about that is they hired who's the very attractive, not aging singer from No Doubt.
Gwen Stefani?
Yes, they hired her, but she wasn't on till like 10 p.m. We didn't even wait. But that I was excited to go see her. But
Well, this time I heard there's gonna be Erewhon treats and Lululemon swag.
swag.
So,
All right.
I just wanna go check out the studios because, um,
Downtown. Yep.
I'm gonna start my podcast back up, everybody.
Yes.
Announcement, the Love Drive podcast is coming back, and I will invite there will be solo episodes, but also guest episodes, on location at the Spotify studios.
If the Love Drive podcast has the Angry Therapist as a guest, then is it become We Can Do Better podcast just by what it is?
No, it'll have a different format.
Oh, okay.
I'll grill you about all sorts of stuff.
Okay. Unlike here, uh, the Love Drive podcast started a long time ago. Then it went on hiatus
Mhm.
for what, 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, and now
And
it's coming
it's
back. So
co
watch out for
coming
that.
back. Yeah, I'm excited. Also, here's some news, fun news. I hired 2 people yesterday.
Oh shit, you have a
Yeah,
team now.
a team. I was looking for 1 person to do it all. I found 3 people who do all sorts of different things really well.
Wow.
I hired 2, a creative assistant for all of the look and feel and the branding and the
Oh,
assets and
fancy. Yep.
yeah. And then someone, podcast slash social media assistant for pulling clips and
Oh, posting.
doing myself. Ah, you know what? I knew it. I
How
knew
did you
it.
know?
I
How did
knew
you
it.
know?
I knew it. Hi, MC.
Hey,
MC, your hoodie matches Shaun's hat. I should be wearing something green.
we did not even coordinate.
Yeah. Our guest today has a lot of letters after her name, Dr. MC McDonald. We go way back. She says we've known each other since the fourth grade. It's almost true. I met MC 2010 when I had a Tumblr blog called The Angry Therapist. And since then, we've been friends, and it's been such a joy watching her grow and write books and, do all these
Meow.
amazing things. And she has a brand new book out called The Joy Reset. She is running out to go grab it right now. There it is.
Ooh, nice cover.
I like amazing. I have
Bright.
to email the artist. I love it.
Very beautiful.
Yes,
Nice
thank
work.
you.
Hi, MC.
Thank
Nice to see you.
Hi, it's so good to see you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, John, you know that MC and I know each other, right?
Well, here's what I was gonna say is that, Shaun knows MC separately from me knowing MC, and, I don't know how they know each other, but I do know
Small
that you guys know each
world.
other.
We know each other through Sam Lamont and
Mhm.
the Hello Human podcast experience that we had, live taping show
Podcast
where,
experience. Yes.
yeah, I
Yeah,
wore a
in San
robe
Francisco.
Yes, in
in
Marin. Yeah,
Marin.
above. Yeah.
Wow.
Great to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
you. It's funny.
It's
I
so good to
knew
see you.
I sort of had a feeling. I was like, I wonder who John's going to invite. I wonder if it's MC. I'm good
You
at
sound
this.
di you
I'm
sound
good at this.
disappointed.
No, 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 no. I'm
Yeah, that
super
was
excited.
You're
But
like, "Where's Dax Shepard? Where's"
no, no, I guessed because I guessed Sabrina last time. I'm really good at guessing who John's going to pick. I think John's a little predictable. He has his like solid crew of like amazing humans that he calls upon. That's all.
I think the worst thing you could call me that's gonna hurt my feelings is predictable, so thank you.
Predictable in some ways.
Yeah. Um,
MC, how are you?
I'm good. It's 2025 has been kicking my ass. It's been a hard year, if I'm being totally honest, but we're making it. You always learn in the struggle, you know?
Yeah, I was listening to Michael Singer's podcast. He's
Mhm.
the author of Untethered Soul and I think
Mhm.
Autobiography of a Yogi.
Mhm.
And he was talking about, spirituality is not when you're sitting and meditating and your mind is empty. It's when you're doing life and
Yeah.
shit is hitting the fan. How are you
Yeah.
showing up for that?
Mhm.
MC, what were some things, that, has been challenging in 2025? I think, people who follow me know exactly what's been in my life, but what's it been with
Yeah.
you?
I mean, the current political
Yeah.
situation is, just so anxiety producing. Um, and I'm sure as you all have experienced, you have people in your life who are being immediately impacted, and that is just makes you ache. I have a very close friend who is dying of, glioblastoma, brain cancer. And so it's been an amazing, thing to kinda get to be on his journey with him, but it's also it's very sad. And I've just had some weird health stuff. I had a mono, and then that
Mm.
turned into Bell's palsy, which, was a deeply humbling experience. Thankfully, have recovered, but it's just been a very strange, like, eerie, dark year so far.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Bell's is, when half of your face goes, numb, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you wake up in the morning and you are like, "Okay, am I having a stroke? Okay, no, I can use my right arm, but I can't sue, and my face is
Yeah.
frozen." And
That's
then you go to
terrifying.
urgent care. Yeah, no, super, super terrifying. And it's, I'm pretty good in a crisis, thankfully, because I was like, "Okay, do I eat a half a bagel or do I go right to the ER?" Like, what like, Google some things, make some decisions, and then they just give you a metric ton of steroids to calm the inflammation. It happens because like, a nerve cluster gets inflamed, and then it just causes this cascade. Um, but it's funny, I don't think of myself as someone who's, like, very vain or, like, taken up with, like, nothing in my life is like about my face. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Until it stopped working, and then it was like, oh, everything in my life is about my face. Damn. So
Wow.
it caused like a uh, reappraisal of how I am in the world as a bodied thing, and that's always humbling.
Yeah,
Wanting
that's a
your
lot.
face to not be frozen
Mhm.
is not vain, by the way.
Well, it's like, but it affected me a lot more than I thought it would.
Oh.
So
Did you, was it just half a bagel because you can only chew with half your mouth?
no, this was my breakfast. That's just
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I like that. I like that joke. Yeah. You can eat the
Uh,
left side of the bagel only.
is half a bagel your breakfast?
It
That's
is, yeah.
your standard
Yep.
breakfast?
Gluten-free because I have celiac, so but yeah, that's my
Nice.
standard.
John, what's your standard breakfast?
Oh, it's up in the air. Either eat like 3 eggs, bacon, go crazy, or I don't eat, and then I go crazy at lunch.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
I used to be yogurt, fruit, and then I found out that it was constipating me, and so
Oh,
now
damn.
yeah, I mean, I figured it out, so things are better now. But for
Oatmeal? Can
years,
you
years, I was constipated
Yeah.
for years. Not good.
Oh, shit,
I know.
no. That sucks.
So now it's no breakfast, just coffee.
None at all? Oh,
Mhm.
man.
Maybe a banana or an apple before the gym.
I was laughing at your podcast. I don't know if you all know this. I think John knows this, but I'm a devoted listener of your podcast, and I was laughing at I think it was the last episode where you were talking about, like, waking up in the morning and who's better at like, I think, Shaun, you were saying you go from a 3 to a 7 or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and
Right.
John was, like, the opposite, and I was laughing about
Yeah.
that.
Who
It's
would
funny,
you rather be with, MC? Someone who wakes up, goes from a 3 to 7, or someone who starts at a 7 and as the day goes by, goes to a 3 or less?
That's a that's a good question. I am trying to decide what do you want someone that matches you or someone that is the opposite? I think matches you.
so
Oh,
that you
yeah,
could
because then
both be
there's a
spinning
contrast.
out together?
Well, not okay, so I am completely useless in the morning, but I'm, like, hilarious. I get very silly and, like, I can't, like, stand up straight and, like, so I'm not grumpy in the morning, but I'm definitely, like, more of a Shaun, like, improve as the day goes on. I
Yeah.
make way more sense at night than the morning. Um, so it's not, like, grumpy and grumpy, I guess. That would, I think, be maybe a bad mix. And then if you're
But
gonna have kids and do that whole thing, it seems like you need someone who's, like, a morning person and able to function.
grumpy, at the end of the day, you're both riding high.
It's
Well,
true.
also, if 2 people are grumpy, they don't know that each other or that's all they know. It's like the fish in water, you know?
Oh, you don't
There's
think
no
you amplify the grump?
there's no contrast, I think. I think it's a lot less, because if you're grumpy, I'm grumpy, this is just normal, you know? But if you're grumpy
Mm.
and I'm not, now you're taking me hostage kinda thing. I
Oh,
notice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't be in a situation where someone expected me to, like, be functional super early. It's just not ever gonna happen.
Hope it doesn't. Hope it doesn't.
It won't. It can't.
MC's been very functional her entire life. She's pretty much dedicated it to trauma. So before writing self-help books, she was a professor.
Yeah. Yep,
And
yep.
you also have a really amazing story. Lost your parents at
Yeah. 24 and 25. Yeah.
25, both parents.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have my first boyfriend actually had cystic fibrosis, and, so I wrote about that in The Joy Reset, which I've never written about him, which was kind of a wild thing. But so I think I sometimes I think my path here on, like, this time around is to grapple with loss
Hmm.
Yeah.
in all of its functions.
Before we get to questions, I
Mhm.
love the conversations you have about joy. Why is joy important to practice as far as rewiring our brains?
I think joy has gotten a strange reputation. It's gotten sort of whitewashed and sillified. We've made it silly and fluffy and like this luxury. It's a critical healing tool. And if we figure out how to build a bridge from trauma to joy so we can access it, which I think comes with, there's some barriers there, which is what I talk about in the joy reset. When you have trauma, it can be really hard to access joy. Joy can actually be dysregulating to a hypervigilant nervous system. But if we can figure out how to, build that bridge between trauma and joy, then we can access that critical healing. I think we also think that healing is hard and the work always has to be like work. And a lot of the work can be joyful and silly, and in fact, it has to be. And so the joy reset is about, resetting our definition of joy and hope and all of the emotions that go with those things. But also, how do we get tools to folks who are pretty resistant and skeptical? The first story in the book is of the client that I tried to suggest joy to at the wrong moment. And she said, "You know what? Fuck off," and closed her computer. And that was the
Mm.
end of our therapeutic relationship, end of the session. And I was like, okay, shit, we have to back to the drawing board. And so that's where this book came from.
Amazing. I love that.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
think healing, yeah, there's room for play and
So
joy
much. Yep.
and lightness. I was
Yep.
at Esalen this past weekend with my mom and my brother, and I was talking to some people about love camp, these retreats that I've done, and I go, why can't healing be fun? Like why can't we heal in connection and play?
Mhm.
And sure, break, touch the sadness and
Right.
hold space for it, and don't like toxic positivity it, but also can we bring
Totally.
some lightness and some space to it?
Yeah. And neurobiologically, when you're in that space of play and creativity and hope, you are regulating your nervous system from the top down. And so it has an immediate positive impact, which is really important because, when you're in that kind of pain, you need um that break.
Yeah. I'm so glad that book's out there.
Oh,
Is
thank
it
you.
is it out there?
Mm,
Pre-order.
pre-order. Yeah, it comes out May 13th.
Link
So
in the
yeah.
show notes, everybody. The Joy Reset by MC, Dr.
Oh,
MC.
thank
Yes,
you.
go pick it up. I've been accidentally, because I didn't know any of this as far as the science behind joy, but I've been telling people to seek nectar, which is John
Yep.
Kim language, since 2010, and a lot of it was because I had nothing, and so I had to find joy in, a donut or a styrofoam
Mm,
coffee or a motorcycle ride or the 5 seconds after a hard workout. That's all I
yep.
had, and
Mhm.
so, um it was either that or just, living in distorted thought and waiting for the shiny things, the big things to come, and that I was sick of living that way.
And there's so many I get this question a lot when people especially in the world we're living in right now, people are like, there are people who are being carted off and stuck in El Salvador in a prison who've done nothing wrong. Like, how do I why is it okay for me to pursue joy and nectar in these moments? Um, and I think 2 or 3 things. One, I mean, if you read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning and all of
Mhm.
these things, there are folks who found joy and beauty in literal concentration camps, and if they can do it, we can do it. And the second thing is, it's not just about our own nervous system regulation, but when we're choosing joy and when we're pursuing it in these moments, we are also adding to the collective calm. If we are all dysregulated all the time, then
Mm,
we are all adding to the chaos. If you can
right.
regulate yourself and kind of come back to baseline any little bit, you are nourishing yourself for the marathon and also contributing to the collective calm. So,
Ooh, I like
yeah,
that. The collective
thank you.
calm.
Collective
Yeah.
calm. Yeah, Thomas Kuebel talks about, like, the collective nervous system. It's not just about our individual nervous system, but, like and I think we can feel that now more than ever.
Mhm.
We have a duty
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
to
I
be part of the
agree.
solution. I mean,
I
Yep.
agree.
if we had to compare our experience to people who have it worse than us, like
Mm.
we would never find uh, space for us to be joyful if we had to say, well, they had it worse than us, so I should be
Right,
miserable too.
right. That's one I talk about the joy thieves in the joy reset, and one of the thieves is guilt. I don't deserve this feeling because so and so has it worse in Gaza or, like, my family or my friend. And that's just a joy thief. It's telling you a lie.
I'm going through, I'm writing about this. I'm going through survivor's guilt a little bit,
Yeah,
you know, because
that's a
we had
motherfucker.
insurance. Yeah,
Mhm.
or because, things weren't as bad for us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's an interesting that's like, from Unbroken, one of my things is always like, how is the thing we're reaching for an adaptation? And I think survivor's guilt can be an adaptation because it's like a way of and I'm interested in your thoughts on this too, like, of holding your own pain at arm's length.
Mm.
Do you feel like it does something for you?
Um, I'm scared to tell people how I'm doing because there are people who are not doing well, all the victims of the fires.
Yeah.
And so I'm keeping a lot of things kind of inside. I'm scared to say that I'm doing well. I'm scared to say that there's been silver linings because I feel guilty, because people
Yeah,
don't have homes.
it's super clear when I see photos of you in Maui how terrible you're doing. It's so
Yeah.
bad. Like, yeah. Thank you for sharing how hard it is for you.
Maybe I shouldn't post photos of me in Maui. I mean, it's like, obviously, I don't feel that guilty.
Well,
Riding around
think
in a golf
about
cart.
what
Yeah.
a liar that guilt is, though, because I think, like, folks who aren't doing well, we're telling a story and we're saying, like, someone who's not doing well or who isn't in Maui and they're struggling is gonna see this and they're gonna feel even worse, but maybe they need that
Mhm.
as the guiding light.
Right. Right. I have been
Here's someone
told.
who went
Yeah.
through the same thing and they're out here doing this thing, you know?
A few have said it's been inspirational to watch you, not, fall into a deep depression, but
Mhm.
anyway, we'll
Hell yeah,
see.
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Questions?
Question time.
Question time.
Question time. All right. This is a total crapshoot. I didn't rename these before I uploaded them, so I actually don't know what the question is.
Exciting.
Okay, let's go.
I want to hear a guy's perspective on how you handle when your friends are in relationships that they're not enjoying, that they're not feeling fulfilled. For example, I have two friends, they both are in relationships where they're just kind of cruising along, but the guys are either, and I'm not trying to generalize, but they're either cheap or they may be unfaithful or there's just no future. Like they don't ever plan on getting married and one of them wants to have a child. So they're kind of like in a holding pattern. So how do you handle being friends with these people without giving too much advice, but also being a good friend?
Obviously, MC, you're allowed to answer this.
Yeah.
I was
You
gonna say
don't.
I'm not a
It's
guy.
yeah, it's
I have thoughts.
yeah. Go ahead. I'm curious.
Okay. I mean, I'm kinda stuck on, like, putting cheating and being cheap in the same bucket, which is kinda funny.
Those are two different
Those are
things.
really different.
There's only cheat and cheap though. One letter difference.
Oh,
Different
I feel like
behavior though.
that, like, belongs on a T-shirt or something. I'm not sure what the back would be. Um, okay, here's my thing on supporting friends who are in shitty relationships, if we can just, like, put it in that bucket. I don't think we do a good job at this. I think that we make things worse. We tend to get in and muddle, and say and issue ultimatums and say, "I don't wanna hear about this guy anymore because he's not a good thing. I don't wanna hear about this relationship, and you need to do this, and you need to do that." I think that what our role should be as friends is more like advisors. And so when I'm in this situation, I try to say like, "Hey, I will support you whatever you choose. If you wanna keep going in this relationship, clearly there's something in it that is, redeemable, or you're working something out, or you're on some path. But I need to know that you see what I see. And so here's what I see. This guy is cheating on you.
Mhm.
I feel like you deserve better than that. Again, if this is something that you're gonna continue or you're committed to, I support you. But and then you deal with the part that's hard. It's hard to watch your friends in shitty situations no matter what the shitty situation. And I think with relationships, we think like, "Oh, if I just tell them in the right way, they will get out of it." And I don't think that should be our role.
Amazing.
Yeah. I
Those are
love
my
what you
2
said.
cents.
I want you to see what I see because I'm your friend.
Yeah, and you could say it's hard for me to see you struggling in this relationship
Mhm.
for
Yes.
for over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it feels like it's not coming from this like, "You have to do this," and I'm coming from this knowing place. It's like, "Oh, I'm hurting. You're hurting, and I'm watching that."
I think also most people don't know, um, how hard it is to end or get out of a relationship because it's not just a choice, but also wiring. People who are not used to hurting people or getting out of relationships, no one teaches us. And so, a lot of us go into freeze or a lot of us go into, panic. A lot of us, we don't have the ability. Some of us don't have the ability to exit relationships, to break up, And
Mhm,
so that's,
mhm.
that's a huge, we don't consider that. We're just like, oh, the person's bad or it's not working. Why'd you leave? It's not that
Yeah,
easy.
So compassion around their inability to leave a relationship.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also think, like, a well-placed John, I'm thinking, like, you've seen me do this. Like, I think a well-placed, like, "Hey, like, what are you doing?
Mm,
What are you doing with this dude?" You know?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Or some
is
curiosity. Hey,
helpful. Yeah.
what are you getting out of this relationship? I'm
Right,
kind of curious.
right.
oh, you know what? He's here for me. Even if he's cheating, he always answers the phone, whatever. Like there a need is being met here, obviously,
Mhm.
Yeah.
even though other needs aren't being met.
Mhm.
And also they didn't have m- quite possibly the fairy tale role model relationship growing up, and this is what they know, and this is working to a certain degree.
Yep.
I have a bit of a different perspective.
We got
Let them struggle.
Mm.
It's not your job to save people.
Mhm.
You can support them, you could be there for them, but they have to go through this in order for it to get hard enough where they go, "God damn it, I'm fucking tired of this shit." No amount of other people saying, "God damn it, you should be tired of this," is enough until you
Mm.
feel it. It's like an addict is not gonna stop until they have hit rock bottom.
Mhm.
Would you say something once or not say anything? Just observe.
Oh, I might say stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take it away from them.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm probably not gonna say, "I think you really need to leave this guy." Just let them struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm right in between both of you. I think, I don't think it's our job to, you know, tell our friends what to do or tell anyone what to do, but, we can definitely, as a friend, express what we see or,
Mhm.
if it's coming from concern, not from control. Uh, but yeah, I'm more of like, I'll tell you once, but I'm not gonna nag you about it,
Mhm.
you know? It is hard to watch though, as a friend. It's hard to watch, and also if the person is playing victim and every time you hang out, all they talk about is how miserable they are in that relationship, and it's what do you say? Because 'Cause you're like, this
I
is
have
all you
this
talk
one.
you have to say something.
Mhm. I think, and maybe that I'm trying to think if this is like a gender. I don't know if this would work. When female friends of mine have been in that situation, it's like I will say, okay, let's time box the complaining part, and here's why. When we're in bad dynamics or tricky dynamics or sticky, whatever, however you want to call it, we tend to lose ourselves. And then you get into that situation where you're like, I don't even know who I was before I was in this relationship. How can I possibly get out? So let's make sure to spend some time getting back to you and doing the things that you love. So we're here on a hike. Let's do that. Let's talk about music that you love, things that you read that are interesting, things that you're curious about, so that you can reconnect with yourself too. And then the side benefit is that we don't have to spend 24 hours complaining about the dude who you're not gonna leave.
I mean, I would even say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm happy to support you for, like, 20 minutes, but after that,
Yeah.
I'd love for us to connect on things that we normally connect on because that
Yep.
would make me happy."
Wow,
Sick.
what a great
Wow.
job.
We really
Us.
nailed that one. That's, like, probably
We're
the
like a
best.
band we're like a band that just, improv and just
We need
seamless.
cakes.
It's the best answer we've ever given, I think.
Can I throw in something very, very, out of the blue and wild, which is very me?
Yes.
Not predictable.
Yeah, not predictable.
Yeah.
It's a life tip, by David Sedaris, who, I was watching, his masterclass on an airplane, and he was talking about how he had a tumor, and he wanted to, cut the tumor off and feed it to a turtle, and, the doctors wouldn't do that because they don't let him take the tumor home, but it was important for him because that's what he wanted to do, so he found a shady doctor at 1 AM who would cut the tumor off and give it to him so he could feed it to a turtle, and, so he's got a lot of those kind of random stories. And, the point of that is that by executing what he wanted to do, there's a story behind it. And so, I'm doing MDMA, for the first time in my life, in a therapeutic setting, next week. And, it's something that I probably would not do, but, I'm curious about it, and there's gonna be a story behind it. So, it's this idea of saying yes to things. Because there's a story about it, even if there are things that scare you or, there's gonna be struggle or it doesn't feel logically right, just say yes anyway because life is about these kind of stories.
That was very unpredictable.
Thank you. Well, that was the point. That was the
Never
point.
never would have seen that one coming.
That was the point, Sean. I was trying to say how unpredictable I can get because that's also part of life, you know?
I was waiting
Well,
for
and you
styrofoam coffee, and I was like, no,
yeah.
not at all.
Nectar? No? Okay. No.
Nectar, no."
You've now proven Shaun wrong though. You are unpredictable.
Laying new tracks.
Yes.
In some
Yeah,
ways.
changing relationship dynamics.
If you don't know David Sedaris, look him up. He's
Yes.
he's a fun writer.
Dry.
I saw him in Flagstaff, actually.
Me too. I saw him in Marin, in Corte Madera.
I will
He's
say that
hilarious.
when I went to the show, it looked like an NPR crowd from Berkeley.
Yeah.
All of
Mm.
the Flagstaff NPR listeners showed up. Little gray-haired, spectacles.
Tweed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tweed.
Lots of tweed. I
Should-
have so many questions about the turtle, about the MDMA, about the connection between the two, which I don't
But John,
understand.
you've done MDMA. This is the first time in the therapeutic session.
I've tried it recreationally, which was okay. Yes, but not in a therapeutic, not in as a with a medicine coach kind of thing.
I have a suggestion. You don't have to give the medicine coach any foot rubs. This time is for
I
you.
did that. Yeah.
This time is for
Surplus.
you.
Keep my hands
okay?
to myself.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. For
Okay.
you. Or
Thank
on
you.
you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will keep my clothes on and my hands to myself and be open. And then you know what? Now we have something to talk about our next episode.
Yeah, because we struggle a lot with
Talking.
what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
really challenging to fill the space. Do we even have time for another question?
No, we usually do one, sometimes two, but I just
do
like hanging
another
out
one.
with
Do
MC.
you
I
guys
just like that
have
she's here.
What did you say, MC?
You guys have time? Let's do another one.
Okay. John, do you have time?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Come on, play it. Oh, it's not working. Hold on.
The universe says no.
Yeah, I guess we don't have time. Hold on, let's see.
Hey, I'm almost 26, and while I've been dating, I've noticed the guys in the bedroom have either watched too much porn, and that's reflected by doing what they think they should be doing, which, is a turn off because it's performance and there's a lack of presence, so it doesn't feel genuine. Or they're like relatively new and being the teacher isn't pleasurable when I'm looking for more control or dominance or like at least wanting to feel like I'm not dating someone. So is there like a middle ground that I can find? I don't think I'm being too harsh by not wanting to coddle someone, but maybe I am. Thanks.
Right off the bat, I just want to say most women do not want you to finish on their face, which is how 99% of all heterosexual porn finishes.
Oh,
Just
right.
Just
Right,
throwing
right,
it out
right.
there, everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Just in my experience.
I would like to, okay, we're recording this, so I want that reaction, just that to be on the Instagram
Sure,
thing, because John's face was priceless.
Did you not understand what I was saying?
Shaun and I are very
But he
competitive.
seemed legitimately surprised.
Well, I was. And so Shaun and I are very competitive. And so because I did the turtle tumor thing, which threw him for a loop, he thought to himself, what can I say that's going to surprise John? And so he opens with most women don't want you to finish on their face, which did shock me.
John, it had
But I believe
nothing
it's
to
true.
do with you.
Huh?
It had nothing to do with you.
Oh,
I
look,
wasn't trying to be competitive. I was just trying to be funny. It had everything to do with me.
He's getting therapeutic. He's getting very therapeutic and deep. That is true, absolutely. The way that porn affects us. I was just gonna say, then don't date 26-year-olds. Is that what she's saying? She's dating a 26-year-old?
Well,
And
she's 26 and men her age are either
oh,
performing the way they see
yeah.
porn or they need a coach. They're not, taking charge in the bedroom. They don't feel very experienced. They lack finesse.
All of that. I mean, I'm trying to think of when I was 26 and, yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. It was all just a new world. Yeah. Sex was like it was like me riding a bull and trying to hang on for 8 seconds. That's what sex was like at 26. I was just so happy that I got to ride the bull, man. I was, just that was so exciting. So yeah.
I feel like the answer to this is why not be more upfront about what you're looking for before you're even in the sexual situation? And then maybe but then I don't know if that feels like teaching or coddling in the wrong way. Like,
No,
because you
that's
can
advocating for your desires.
and you could say, like, "Look, I'm interested in, maybe a sub-dom dynamic. I want you to be able to take control. If you don't know what that means,
Mhm.
and we're gonna have this encounter, you need to study up."
Yeah, I wonder how realistic that is as a 26-year-old. I mean, I think I like it. I like it. I think we don't really talk about the kind of sex that we want before we have it
Mhm.
for the most part, in my
Mhm.
experience. I think it's like sort of the most that people will do is say, "What do you like?" And
Mhm.
that could be an opportunity to say, I don't like it when the people I've slept with have used porn as their teacher
Mm.
and aren't really in tune to my desires. And I also have found that I really kind of like it when someone takes control
Mhm.
and takes their time with me.
That's the script, write it down.
That's the script.
I
The
think,
sub-dom stuff is nice if you're in a more kinky relationship, but I also don't wanna say that, like, 26-year-olds can't have experience in that department. They absolutely can.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, I think if you weren't familiar with that, then you would Google it, and then you would be like, "Okay, this
Yeah,
is,"
you Google sub-dom as a 26-year-old with no experience in it, and then you're like, "I gotta whip the shit out of her, and I gotta go into dungeons, and there's latex involved now," and, like, I don't know, it could
And
get
then you show up in a whole top to
way
yeah.
that's not porn, that's different. I mean, there is porn like that.
I
I think
think
I like
we're
that.
also
underselling 26-year-olds, though.
especially the new generation, right? Gen
Yeah.
Z, yeah.
They know how
Well,
to research.
from her perspective, she's had an experience with undersold 26-year-olds,
Sure, good point. Yeah,
you
Yeah.
know?
right.
I think also if you watch, porn, at an early age, it takes a lot of work to, rewire yourself because,
Yeah.
doesn't your body get turned on because of those images that were imprinted? And so you're not just doing things because you think that's how they're done, but that they're probably things that, turn you on. So to kind of recondition yourself, to get yourself to be turned on in new ways, that's a practice that takes time.
Also, look at different porn. There's, like,
Yeah.
ethically made porn from female producers
Yep.
that are really sweet. There's a website called Make Love Not Porn, which is actually couples having sex, like real deal couples. But
Mhm.
the porn trope is like, uh, girl goes down on guy, guy eats girl out, penetration, come on your face, maybe there's anal, that's it.
It's very graphic. Very graphic
Yeah,
at 10
well,
a.m. Yeah.
Is
yeah,
this allowed on YouTube?
yeah, for sure. Um, it's not collaborative, it's not
Yeah.
Mhm.
co-created,
A lot of eye
it's
contact.
not there's no they're not talking about what they want. They're not
No.
saying a little bit more to the left, a little more to the right, or please slow down, or go
Yeah.
faster, go harder. So it's lacking a lot of what real sex looks like.
I also think it's not just porn. I think it's, like, all of our humor, and maybe this is derived from porn, but, like, all of our humor, all of the, like, jokes in movies, like, it's 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 everywhere. So I think we have to do some societal rewiring on what what it means to connect and what you're looking for. And again, like, back to Sean's point, how to talk about these things, because if we don't have any example of that, then it makes it even harder. How do I have that conversation? I don't even know what words to use?
Well, and maybe this person also, yeah, doesn't have the experience of asking for what they
Mhm.
want and having also a positive response to asking for what they want. I will again plug Auto Straddle yes, no, maybe list as a reference or tool for people to get to know what they want, whether it's like tweaking nipples, light spanking, or, call me a whatever. Do you like that? Do you not like that? And then you can have a little bit more language around, oh, this is the kind of sex that I want. Is that something that you might be interested in doing?
Should two people exchange a survey, like a Google form, where it tells you, 50 questions, and you're answering private
Well,
what you like and what you don't like, and
This
you
yes, no,
email them
maybe
back and
list is
oh, it
basically
is?
that. It's a tool for couples to get together and talk about what they do like and don't like or would like to try. What words to use to refer to my genitals? Never say pussy. Oh, only say whatever. so that you can get to know the other person and then, be in a better position to meet their needs.
It's
Oh,
also
what
can
is
be kind of a bonding thing to do together, and then it's fun, and then you can tell
Mhm.
funny stories or say like, "Oh, wow, I've never tried that. I don't know," And yeah, that's a different
what
kind of
is that
exciting.
called? Just for people, because I wanna check it out too.
Yes, No, Maybe List by
Yes, no,
Otto
maybe list.
Straddle. It'll be in our show notes, John. You can just
Okay.
it's actually I think we might have talked about it at some point, but it's a
Yeah,
fun resource.
cool.
Yeah, I've used it before. It's a really fun exercise to do with someone.
Mhm.
We did it in a bar with, like, other people around, and it
Oh,
was,
that's
like,
fun.
Oh,
very
that could be
exciting.
fun. Like
Yeah,
a
it
Yeah.
game.
was a game.
Well, MC, great seeing your face,
You
and,
too.
go
Where can
pick
we
up her
find you?
new book.
MC, where
Oh,
can we
what
find you?
Oh, I'm on, Instagram and TikTok at mc.phd, and the Joy Reset and Unbroken as well, are both available wherever you buy books, indie bookstores, Amazon, all the things.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you all for having me. This was so fun.
We're gonna sign off, all 3 of us,
What does that mean?
all
So
together.
MC, I say, thank you for listening. Be well. Shaun has his saying.
I say have a beautiful week.
And what's sure gonna be?
Don't forget to imprint tiny little joys. Bye.
Bye.